Match day 25 coming to an end at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. And these fans were happy for about 90 minutes on this occasion, but this game had plenty of twists and turns. It was not the most technically sound game that we've seen this season. There were a lot of mistakes made and a lot of defensive miscues that ultimately led to a couple of goals. Both sides had opportunities, but nobody was able to put home the ones that counted. These were the types of half chances that at times a player like Dodi Lukebakio has scored, but it just didn't come off in the same way. Here's another one of those opportunities you got to take advantage of. Takuma Asano across the face of goal. Vedat Murici was right there waiting for it, and you might say that Asano also could have gone for goal, but he chose the unselfish option, and that ended up costing him. This was a big chance in the first half for Sevilla. A shot that was flicked on towards goal by Quique Salas, who thought he had one, had not yet scored in LaLiga EA Sports this season. It might not have been heading on target. We later saw it with this angle, we'll probably tell you, even though Omar Mascarell got in the way. He wasn't to know where it was headed. Next chance came for Sevilla down the left-hand side when Adrià Pedrosa just stuck with it and sent it to the back post, and in came a flying Lukebakio. Unable to get the right connection over the top of this one. He was surprised, as we all were, to see Pedrosa even catch up to this ball. Lukebakio made his best effort. Again, it was Pedrosa trying to create. This time, a poor defensive clearance led to a recycle from Carmona, and there waiting for it was the very active Ruben Vargas, who was all around this game in terms of his footprint. Unable to score, though. Mallorca's opportunities were few and far between in the first half, if you want to call this a chance for Vedat Murici, who did have some goal-scoring luck in his last couple of games. 3 goals over his last 2. Unable to get on the score sheet, though, tonight. Djibril Sow with one of the best chances of the first half, because Dominic Greif was put off by the deflection, and his big 2-meter frame helped him in keeping this one out of the net. The recovery time for Greif was short. Because of his long reach, he was able to make sure it stayed out of the net, or at least keeping it from crossing that line. Later on in the first half, it was Greif again getting in the way of a Djibril Sow cross that almost found Lukebakio at the back post. It looked for all the world like we were headed for a 0-0 first half. We were given 1 added minute of stoppage time in the first half, and 2 poor clearances from Mallorca made the difference. Lukebakio surveying his options. First, Vedat Murici couldn't get it clear. Neither could Mascarell, and Quique Salas scores the goal for Sevilla, his first of the season. It was a halftime change. A change in mindset, a change in scoreline, and a change in belief as well. For a side looking for their first set of back-to-back wins all season. Have not won 2 games in a row in La Liga this year, and they thought this is the first step towards taking advantage of that opportunity. You can see it's just 2 poor clearances, and Salas takes advantage. He reaps the benefits of the 2 deflections. Nothing Greif can do. So while Salas scores, the second half began with 1 chance for Mallorca here from Takuma Asano that actually came off of the post after a deflection from Bade. Asano had some quick reaction time to try and swipe his leg at this one twice. Just couldn't put it on target in a very difficult, short reaction span of time. There weren't many options in the second half for Mallorca after that. They started seeing a lot more pressure from Sevilla. Sevilla started to put their foot on the gas and perhaps seek out the second goal that would salt the game away. You knew Dodi Lukebakio would try to get involved. He was able to find Vargas. Managed to hit the target once again. He was pacey down the left-hand side, and then that effort from Saul, almost resembling Luka Modric's goal from the day prior. Two very good efforts, one from Vargas and the other from the captain on the night, Saul. Says so much about a man on loan from Atletico de Madrid. He dons the captain's armband. We're showing you a couple of Mallorca chances, but they just weren't there. That was the captain on the other side, Raillo. Another half chance came for Saul, which was a tough one for him to wrap his foot around. He skied it over the bar. He was excellent in the midfield, creating for Sevilla. This is him winning the ball back and doing just that, trying to seek out his teammate Lukebakio, who somehow managed to keep this ball glued to his feet. It would have been one of the goals of the season had he pulled this off. The way that he kept it underneath him was something else. Mojica came flying in to defend from the back. Lukebakio just stuck with it. Unable to get any positioning as Sevilla just mounted the pressure on Lukebakio again. This time getting the better of Mojica, whose yellow card here means he misses Alaves's matchup next week. It was a chop from Mojica, a couple of swipes. They pushed for their equalizer. They hadn't made any changes yet, Mallorca, and Isaac Romero was one on everybody here. He actually had Greif worried for a moment, just pulled the final product wide. Arrasate knew that he had to do something to shake this game up because what he had just wasn't working. So he brought on Robert Navarro. And he would make an impact in this game. Jose Angel Carmona provided another example of needing to keep the ball down when teeing up for a shot like that. To hit it into the ground. That's not the way Sevilla played today, and it ultimately cost them, not on this occasion, but a defensive miscue that almost led to a goal from the aforementioned Navarro, whose double tap touch nearly provided a goal to remember. He just lifted it over the crossbar. He couldn't keep it on the target with the charging Nieland coming out. Murici was the one to set it up. It's a beautiful feed for Navarro. Problem was he couldn't finish it off with a softer touch. And still Mallorca pushed on, looking for something to take from this game. It was another chance for Navarro. This one a little bit clearer. You would have thought this was the one for him to put home. He pounces on the loose ball that was not cleared well. He dragged it wide. Again, Navarro creating weaving past defenders. This was one he wanted a penalty for. There was plenty of contact here, but the call in the end was consistent with the play on the pitch. Referee this evening, Alejandro Muniz Ruiz, let a lot of things go. And that was one example of not overstepping his bounds here, as Mojica's effort, again, just sailed a bit too high. So Mallorca seeking out an equalizer, continuing to use Navarro. This chance on the counter came for Sevilla in the form of their substitute, Chidera Ejuke, who tried to curl it in towards the back post. Any one of these would have been a winner. But instead, it was a mistake from the keeper. 91st minute. And Urian Nieland, who comes out for the punch, doesn't get enough on it. Martin Valiente cleans up the scraps, and he takes 2 points away from Sevilla. At the same time, earning 2 points, or rather a single point, I should say, for his side. Valiente scoring his first goal of the season. Right place, right time, sneaking it through. And an unhappy Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan realized that this was one they let slip away. It was a chance to take 3 points and a chance to win back-to-back games for the first time this season. It didn't happen. The final score in Seville, Sevilla 1, Mallorca 1.